Stephen Kinnock.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Paragraph 17 of the directives for the negotiating team states clearly that any time-limited prolongation of the Union acquis requires existing Union regulatory, budgetary, supervisory, judiciary and enforcement instruments and structures to apply, including the competence of the Court of Justice of the European Union. Can the Minister please explain what exactly will be getting implemented during the implementation period?
Very clearly, as the Prime Minister set out, the aim of the implementation period is to implement the future relationship between the UK and the EU. It's to allow us to put those structures in place for that future relationship. As the Honourable Gentleman so often does, he speaks eloquently in this House on behalf of the EU, but we need to make sure that we are negotiating on behalf of the UK.
Jeremy Lefroy.
This process.
Order.
Point of order.
Point of order. I'll take the point of order now because I understand that it relates to the exchanges that have just taken place. So let's hear it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As you will have heard during this session, I asked the Minister a perfectly reasonable question, and he, unfortunately, in his response, chose to impugn my motives and question my patriotism. I can assure him that I speak only in what I see as the national interest and in the interests of my constituents. I therefore ask him to retract those comments and to apologise, and we'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Well, I said I would hear the Honourable Gentleman. The Minister isn't under any obligation to respond. He can if he wants, but he's not obliged to do so. Quick is good. Much to be said for it.
In the Honourable Gentleman's motives, I would only point out that he was reading directly from the EU negotiating guidelines, and of course what we're discussing today is the UK policy.
Okay, so that's not an apology.
No, it's not an apology, it's an explanation.
I'll be in touch.
But we'll leave it there.